you don't even do your bad habit perfectly. So, if you have, I think there's so many bad habits. What are some bad habits that you think of that you hear people, bemoan the fact that they have this bad habit? What are
Oh,
some
well,
bad?
sweet tooth, we hear that one all the time, where someone, I'm eating, uh, cake or ice cream or, drinking wine, too much coffee. That's actually one that I hear a lot of. I'm drinking too much coffee is becomes a bad habit. Obviously, biting nails, that comes up sometimes. Yeah, there's some examples.
Yeah, and so here's the question, and I had fun with this when I was working with a faith-based organization, and they had a wellness initiative, and they were talking about some of their clients smoked cigarettes, and,
Hmm.
they were like they could smoke like chimneys, and I said,
Or now,
"Well."
now it's people vaping too, which is also
Yeah, right,
same
vaping,
thing. Yeah.
whatever it is, yeah. So just, well, nobody's perfect. They don't even do their problem perfectly. And I said, well, wait, they chain smoke. Yeah, they smoke all the time. Really? Yeah, oh, they've tried to stop so many times, it just doesn't work. Well, wait, but they're in your church, right? Yeah. They go to church? Oh, yeah. They go on Sundays. We have Bible study on Wednesday. Oh, really? Do they smoke then? Well, no, of course they don't smoke then. You can't smoke in church. Do they ever go to the movies? Well, yeah. Well, do they smoke then? Well, no, you can't smoke then. Really? Well, how do they do that? And so even though, it's nobody's perfect, nobody does their problem perfectly. They may be perfect chain smokers, but they don't smoke in church. They don't smoke in the library or, well, no, they don't smoke in the library or movies. People bite their nails, but not all the time. So instead of trying to go down the rabbit hole of figuring out what the triggers and the barriers, blah, 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 is look for times when you're not doing it. Look for the exceptions. That's the very first thing I do and drill down there. Well, how am I doing that? What contributes to that? What are all of the factors that contribute? The environmental factors, the social factors, time factors. Oh, I only do it at night when I'm tired. And then you can, then you can work on recreating the conditions by which you know, are successful. So it may be, I realize that I don't do X when. Okay, so, you know, what other times? And there are many paths the same river. And I think that's where we can come up with more creativity, more novelty, and not just be mechanical. Replace this part with that part.
Right. Yeah. And just identifying, like you said, we talked about the noticing at the beginning, is noticing that there are times that you aren't doing it, and how you're doing that. Just understanding that capacity that you have inside yourself, and that can translate to times when you where you are feeling like you're going to do this behavior you don't want to do, and say, no, wait a second, I remember I have the capacity. I identified it, I said it out loud, or I wrote it down, and just by doing that, that strengthens your ability to do a behavior differently when you are feeling whatever stressor came into play or whatever trigger came
Right,
into play. Yeah.
right. And I'd say the thing about breaking bad habits really, that we could replace them with a good habit, but also, I would say, I mean, it's a behavior. So you can't just not do it. It's like, I don't want to eat the pie. I don't want to eat the pie, but your brain doesn't know don't. It only knows pie. So you do, instead of biting your nails or drinking coffee, you have to identify what you would be doing
Mm.
instead.
Yeah.